Hey, what's up? My Black Wallet Media. We at the warehouse again. Y'all know how we do it. I mean, this my livelihood. You know, this my business. You know, I told you guys before in my previous videos that I put everything that I had into this thing. So, you know, I gotta make it work. So my thing is, stay in your business so that you can keep your business. Make sure you got your eyes, your nose, your heart, your mind, your livelihood, your effort, all in your business. So right now, what we got here, we got a crate that's ready to ship. And this particular item that's in this crate is a fusion machine. And so this is gonna ship overseas. Not domestic. It's going overseas. It's going to go on a container. It's going to share space with other items going in a container. However, I don't know exactly where it's going because the customer just hired me to pick it up and pack it, right? So what the customer is going to do is eventually send me the labels. Now, we got that item packed. We got it heavily foamed, heavily bubble wrapped. And the interior of this crate, we have cushioning, 2-inch cushioning around the interior of the crate, just in case a forklift or something so happens to drive into the forklift. You got 2 extra inches of cushioning to protect that item. Again, this is a fusion machine. I don't know what it fuses, but I do know that this machine is worth $25,000. So I can't afford it, and I don't want my customer to have an issue when it gets there. So what my job is, you know, is to make sure that this gets to its destination safely, without damage, and then in the same integrity, that I picked it up. Now, because this is international, I have to stamp this. So I have a government issued stamp. And we'll get into what the stamp is for and the regulations and things like that on a different video. But I want to have a stamp on each side, each corner. But what I do, I corner 4 sides on each side. And if I don't stamp this and it gets to the port, not necessarily the port of Houston where it's shipping out at, but at its destination port. If it don't have a stamp, an international stamp that identifies who built this crate, then it's gonna be rejected. It's gonna be on hold for about 45 days to 6 months, which is gonna cost me and the customer money. So we don't wanna do that. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna back this crate up just a little bit so I can get it totally in the camera's view, possibly pick it up a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. So how is that? So I want you to be able to see the crate. As you see, this front side is just as the back side. This is the pickup side. So when I'm saying that we're gonna stamp this, we're gonna stamp this in the corner, and the corner, and the corner, and the corner. And I'm gonna do all 4 sides, but I'm not going to bore you with all this stamping and going on. But I do want you to see what I'm talking about. Because this is an international shipment, it must be stamped. So this is what the stamp looks like. And this stamp is a government issued stamp, and it has my government issued stamp number. So basically all we do is, just like you stamping your name on some paperwork, get it real wet, make sure it's right side up. You gotta press down and sometimes you gotta rock it. Bam, there it is. My stamp number, my seal number, good to go. I wanna do this on 4 sides. I'm gonna just do the 4 corners and I'll come back and do my other side, but so what this crate is made out of is made out of OSB or plywood. A lot of times I use OSB. OSB does the same thing that plywood does. But a lot of times, okay, to be real, OSB is cheaper. Me, myself, I want to give the customer, yes, I want to be cost efficient. I want to make sure that my crate is built stable and secure. But me, myself, I prefer to give my customers top of the line material. However, some of them don't want to pay for that. So, of course, OSB is a little cheaper or a lot more cheaper at times than plywood. So, but when we're talking about stamping, OSB and plywood does not have to be stamped. But what we're really stamping for is the 2x4s and the 1x4s that it takes to build this this crate. Although I'm stamping on the OSB, the stamp is really for 2x4s, 1x4s, 4x4s, all your timbers that come from mainly trees and things like that. And really, like I said, we'll get into it later, but it's to prevent, make sure that your wood is fumigated to prevent transfer of bugs and things like that from state to state, or I'm sorry, from country to country. That's why that's important, because sometimes you can transfer bugs to another country, and the bugs can wipe out a total wood vegetation habitat. So that's why that's very, very important. And those bugs they can spread like a wildflower. So that's why that's important. And you know, a lot of times, people try to get away and take corners and shoot corners, but that's not the thing to do. So, you know, we want to make sure that we do everything right and do everything properly. Now, I will tell you this. Not doing what's right, not following shipping regulations and things like that can get you shut down and get your license terminated, your shipping license terminated, and all that kind of stuff. And again, I've worked too hard to take shortcuts that could possibly cause me to lose my business. So, and then once I get the paperwork, the customer should be able, or should send me the paperwork by the end of the day. And what I'll do is, I'll put the labels on the pallet, and I'll put clear stretch wrap on the pallet, put it in the shipping station, and wait on the truck. I have a couple of more pallets over here that's ready to ship, and I'm gonna move this out of position and move these things here in position so that you can see how I prepare that to get ready to ship. All right, my people, Stay tuned. Take a break. Go get some water or something. You know, put your feet up. Eat your favorite snack. And we'll be right back at you in a few minutes. Okay?